Welcome. This is the Customer Focused Marketing Podcast, and I'm your host, Russell Van. And today we have a special guest and a new friend to the program, Ms. Liz Dederer. She is the founder of Maximize Your Value, and she's in the great state of Connecticut. And I'd like to say welcome, Liz. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Russell. Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely. How is business?
Business is fantastic.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I know a lot of people who hesitate to answer that question. They have to actually give it some thought, which makes me wonder if their answers are legitimate and heartfelt. But moving on, Liz, as the founder of Maximize Your Value, I would like to ask you to give us an overview of that brand. Could you do that for me?
Absolutely. Maximize Your Value is a brand created and a business created to help entrepreneurs, independent business owners, and people who are curious about starting a business maximize their value in life, in business, and within themselves. And what I do is I work with those individuals on a personal basis via phone, Skype, whatever technology brings our way. And I've been called a marketing therapist because I really get inside their heads, inside their business heads, to help them find their voice and shout it in the most confident and authentic way possible.
Yeah, marketing therapist. Now that's a term I've never been exposed to before. What's the definition of that?
The definition of that is Liz Dederer. I had a client call me a business therapist. I've had people call me every name in the book, to be honest, but I've been called a business therapist, a marketing coach, and recently in kind of communicating my brand to potential clients and existing clients, we hashed it around and said, really what I do is I'm a marketing therapist. I get in and we kind of have those couch talks to say what's really going on in there. What is at the heart of your business? And in working with entrepreneurs and independent business owners, they and their business are one and the same. So it's a lot of fun to really get in there and tweak things around, shift their mindsets, shift their language, so that ultimately they're maximizing their most authentic value.
That's excellent. It reminds me of a life coach / business advisor / friend.
Yes.
/ I don't know what. I mean, you're there. You're by their side. You're in their space. You're helping them break down and rebuild. And certainly, that's where I'm sure I see their brand right away. Maximize your value. And
yes, I love that you threw friend in there. I was working with a client this morning, and we were going through how she describes her business. The answering the what do you do is a number one topic with my clients. And I asked her, so what do you do? And she says, I can't do it. I can't answer it. And I said, it's okay. I'm right there with you. I'm here with you. You can do it. So I felt like I was right there holding her hand, and here we were, 100 miles apart on the phone. So it was really fun.
All right. Well, speaking of something like your client that you were speaking to, who is your target audience? Who would you like to see working with? Who do you see yourself, this brand, working with?
Enthusiastic, open-minded, and curious professionals. Anyone who really is an entrepreneur and is curious about being an entrepreneur. Existing small business owners that lead with passion and maybe just can't get all the working parts in order, but their heart is totally in it, I can work with that. If you're just in it for the money, I can't work with that, to be honest. But if your heart's in it, yeah, there's no value there. Anyone can see through that.
Do you see a lot of that coming your way?
I don't. I did when I started because I was still finding my voice, to be honest. And then once I really got settled in my skin and was really crystal clear on who I was and who would be right for me to work with, the right people just kind of magnetized themselves towards me, which was such a fun experience.
I'm glad you said that because that's my very follow-up question.
Awesome.
The traffic, where, how, techniques, things you've tried, things that have failed. Tell me, how do you reach out to these people, or how do they reach out to you? What does that look like?
It looks like shaking hands, smiling, eye contact. So much of what I do is footwork. It's getting out there and meeting people, building relationships, and working through them. And then, I'm a work-at-home mom, so my time is very limited having a toddler. She actually, when she was still a baby, would come with me to different networking events, and that's always the kissing hands, shaking hands and kissing babies thing. That's always a great way to meet people. But now she's, a year and a half and crazed and running all over the place. So my face-to-face time is limited, so I'm doing much more with technology, and I'm introducing videos to my website, and I'm getting a lot of positive response to that. So it does come down to as much human interaction as possible, though. There's only so much that people are going to get from words on a website and status updates and stuff like that. There's got to be voice and personality put to it, especially when I'm doing something as personal as what I do.
Does someone feel close to you if they watch a video of you? I say that because a lot of people and business owners that I talk to is long distance, but I found the know, like, and trust part of it. They feel they know me by hearing my voice often. They tell me they like me, so I think that's true because I talk to them again and again. And it kind of transforms and gets to a place where if they think they know me, they tell me they like me, that trust value is there. Do you have that same vibe going on with what you do?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you explained it perfectly because you and I have chatted on the phone now just a handful of times, but I definitely feel like we have a rapport. And it's the same thing that when you go to a movie or you're watching a TV show or something, you kind of feel like you know that person to an extent, I mean, obviously not, intimately, but you get a sense of who they are. So much comes through our inflection in our voice, our tones. You can hear moods. You can hear when somebody's really excited. You can hear when they're stressed out. And all that authenticity makes people human and relatable.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part. Okay, now, question.
Yes.
You made contact, this scenario. You made contact and whatever technique you used. But the person, your potential client, is not ready to commit. What nurturing do you do? What's next for you? Do you tell them to leave them brochures and say, call me when you're ready, or what do you do necessarily?
I completely accept where they are. I don't try to sell them. I don't try to challenge them on it. If they are not ready, being a coach, I can't work with somebody who's not ready. I'd have more success talking to a wall. That's just the reality of coaching. So it is about just confirming that where they are is exactly where they are, and that's totally cool, totally fine with that. I'm here for you, when you're ready. In the meantime, mama's got to eat, so who do you know? I'm totally fine with asking, in that way. And I also make sure that they're on my email list, that we're connected socially, because I let them know life happens. 6,000 things are going to happen between now and the next time we talk, so let me just make sure I'm dripping on you in several places.
Yeah.
And when I phrase it so casually and conversationally and not like, I need to make sure that you're on my email list so you're reminded to contact me. No, I'm not going to be weird about it. I'm going to be normal and natural about it. And then they're like, that's awesome. Thank you.
It reminds me of that phrase or proverb or something. The teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Russell, I was teaching a marketing class last night to a bunch of entrepreneurs, and I literally used that phrase. That's hysterical.
Is that right?
I swear I did. I did.
All right, quickly. Tell me about this meeting you had last night.
So I do a lot of volunteering within the community, too, because there's so many phenomenal programs that are out there through different grants and with nonprofits and things like that, and anything I can do to help the entrepreneur. So I was asked through this nonprofit organization to step into a 16-week program and kick off the program by teaching their Laying the Foundation to Success program last night. So we got to touch on, getting your mind right, doing some marketing, and I really had my marketing therapist hat on, and it was a lot of fun. There were about 35 people in the class, and they were hungry, and it just is so exciting to see so many of those people out there.
That's excellent. Were you invited?
I was.
Oh, even better.
Yep. And that's all the networking. You never know who's going to lead to someone, who leads to someone, who leads to someone else. And it's just about letting people confidently know what you do, and then doors magically open.
That's a very good segue to my very next question. Partnerships. You get up with the nonprofits. Tell me other organizations and or corporations and or individuals and business owners that you partner up with that, we may know or may not know. I'm not.
Well, I partner definitely with, the nonprofit that I was at last night, which is a local group, and that was such a fun experience. I also am an advisor and counselor with SCORE, which is the government-funded agency that provides free business coaching and counseling services that's government-funded. And I'm working with them right now to kind of do some rebranding of the organization as a whole on a local level, and also provide coaching services to individuals that come through SCORE. Other organizations that I'm affiliated with, one of my clients is the Organic Land Care Association, and I will be teaching in November an accreditation course in marketing to a group of organic land care professionals in Stamford, Connecticut. So I'm really excited about that. Anything to get hands-on with the entrepreneurs and business owners to really help them thrive. Wow.
I'm impressed. I've not heard of most of these people. SCORE, I'm familiar with the Small Business Administration, leadership and partnership with retirees. I've actually went through that program.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
My experience was eye-opening because I was just dipping my toe into the idea of wanting to be in business. And I remember I got a lot of coaching on just writing my business plan. I'm talking a couple of decades ago, and I have a good feeling from that contact that I had with that organization. It just built on and enhanced and kind of kick-started my journey and my path into this business world. It was a very good experience. I would recommend it. And knowing that you are part of it, I recommend it. You're going to make it better for those people in your area. Oh, just excellent. Excellent. Okay.
Wonderful.
Now, the partnerships, the referrals, client testimonials. What are some of the very nice things people have shared with you that they said about you and your brand, which is, let's emphasize, maximize your value.
It's funny. My brand kind of evolved over the past 2 years. I actually started my business when I was working full-time, pregnant, and just couldn't be a cubicle mom. And I started as a web designer. I had a marketing hat on, but I was still kind of finding my niche. And I started as New Solutions Marketing Group. And, that's just a mouthful of words that doesn't resonate with anyone. And within the interactions that I had with my clients and developing their websites, et cetera, is really where I found my coaching voice and was really able to really emphasize that. And that's how Maximize Your Value came about. And it's a funny thing about the brand that when I owned that and I did the relaunch just fairly recently, things have just exploded for me. People really resonate with the tone, the energy, the enthusiasm. So it's really positive. Some of my clients have said that have known me through the journey. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for you. You helped me to hone in on finding exactly who my client was. I feel much better in my own skin. I'm going out to a networking event tonight to say exactly what you just coached me on. So it's instant, it's actionable, it's encouraging, and it's a beautiful thing. I learn and I just smile with every client. So much fun.
It sounds like you really got a good understanding of what you can do for others. Your path has seemed like you've made progress from that cubicle to your own work-from-home adventure and firm. Maximize Your Value is a good fit for you and your energy, it seems. It
feels right. It does.
Yeah, I feel that. All right.
It's funny, when I started as New Solutions Marketing Group, I felt like I had to be this thing that I wasn't.
What's that? What do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me.
I felt like I was building this corporate culture, which is actually what I was trying to run from. And that really dawned on me when I was meeting with a client and I had my daughter with me. And they looked horrified that this marketing consultant that they just hired is bringing their kid to the meeting. And I said, whoa. I am so attracting the wrong client right now. And that was a big wake-up call for me. That was a huge wake-up call for me because, listen, I'm a mom first, business owner second. And that's the reality of my life, and that's what I'm most proud of. And I will only work with people who are understanding of that because they're probably in the same boat I am.
Oh, Liz, I am so with you. Making that business around your life and not your life around the business. I am so with you with that.
Yes.
And those are the people I am also trying to reach with this podcast. Those work-from-home entrepreneurs who are solopreneurs, who are wearing all the hats, who are making this income stream, their passion, their interests, their likes around their life. I am there with you. And I applaud you for also doing the same.
Thank you, and right back at you. It's a hard thing for us to figure out how to do on our own, and what's so great about what you're doing is that you're exposing out to so many people that you're not alone. You're not alone. Keep doing it. Keep finding more people like yourself because, power in numbers. We're here to support each other for sure.
Absolutely. Now, in saying all this, I got to ask you, give us, or my listener, I'm going to include myself, good reasons that we may need a marketing coach and advisor.
Well, we can't see what we can't see. We can't know what we don't know. And, you need somebody else to tell you when you have spinach in your teeth. I mean, that's the reality of it. We're all standing in the eye of our own tornadoes. And we've got this mass of stuff going on around us, And then there's this whole other world beyond that. And because of all this stuff going on around us, we can't see what's going on outside of that. So what a coach does, what I do as a marketing therapist, is I get inside of you to figure out what's going on within you and your business, and what is your authentic truth that needs to be brought to light. And then I kind of step back at a 30,000-foot view and look at the landscape around you and help guide you, because you can't see that bird's eye view. That's what I do as a marketing therapist.
Excellent. Do you give out any press releases or interviews through a more traditional media?
I have not yet. Like I said, this rebranding is still fairly new, and I'm just neck deep in working with clients, which is a phenomenal problem to have. So, like with anyone, we take care of ourselves last. So, it's a miracle that my marketing has come as far as it has, kind of a thing.
I'm there with you. I am so. Yep. Now, okay. This is where we're going with this. You've explained, and eloquently, I should add, what you do, who you do it for, why you do it, the benefits of it, and you are the provider of this service. I am getting in the habit of asking everyone who comes through this podcast as a guest, tell me about you being the consumer. What is the first thing that pops in your head of the last thing you bought at the cash register?
The last thing I bought at the cash register, I'd have to say gas, because I do so much online that I can't really think about the last time I was at a store.
That's the reality of it all. We are moving such more to the technology and being online and buying things off of our smartphones. People have not had that or used that experience as often as they used to. Going in with cash in hand and giving it to the proprietor and walking out with the purchase. That is an activity that is finding its way to be in the past.
Extinct.
Oh, not so much, but it is getting there. It is an activity that I'm thinking that my great-grandkids may not actually have.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I start with, where we started talking. That's where I talk to people about having a really healthy relationship with money, because money as we know it is changing, and it's okay to ask for payment for your services. It's okay to require payment for your services. So I start with a lot of my clients with kind of making sure that they have that kind of comfortable and healthy relationship with money, because exactly to your point, that medium is changing for sure.
It is. I got to say, okay, Liz Dederer, marketing therapist, maximize your value. I'm glad you spent some time with us today. I appreciate the time that you spent with us today. I got to say that again. I appreciate what you have done for us today. I want you to tell the listener how they can reach out to you. What is the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Fantastic. You can reach me on my website at Liz Dederer, DEDERER.com. Connect with me on Facebook, Maximize Your Value. I'm also on Twitter and LinkedIn under my name. And again, it's Liz Dederer, DEDERER.
Now, maximize your value, is that one word, and is it spelled correctly, or is it special spelling?
It is spelled correctly.
Okay.
For Facebook, correct.
Oh, very good.
Domain name was taken, and I wasn't about to spend $10,000 on it.
I hear you. All right. I am going to say we are grateful, and we are done.